Greetings to everyone. I welcome you for IABS IAS Academy Current Affairs channel IABS IAS News Bureau. Today we are going to discuss about the Hindu news analysis dated on August 21st 8, where we are going to discuss about 4 or 5 different articles which are relevant for UPSC prelims cum mains preparation. Foremost article is related to cleanliness report and survey which was conducted by Union Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. This particular ministry is dealing with program named as Swach Bharat or Swach Survekshan 2020. In this report, consequently, fourth year, Indore has bagged for cleanest city in the country award by this report. And in this contest, what are the things that we need to look into as per UPSC preparation? On par with UPSC preparation. This report or the cleanliness survey report was being given when taking consideration of 4,000 different cities which were carried out over 28 days earlier this year. This particular survey has been conducted period to March, that is before Corona, not after evoke of Corona. And second thing is, in this survey, this is the first survey which was conducted including feedbacks which was provided by 1.8 crore citizens of the particular country. That is one of the world's largest sanitation survey which was conducted so far. And next to Indore, Surat, Navi Mumbai, Ambalikapur, Mysore, Vijayawada, Ahmedabad, New Delhi, Chandrapur, and Gargaon as coming in the list of cleanliness ranking. Apart from that, when you are looking for the places or the cities where the population is less than 1 lakh, top 3 cities Karwad, Saswat, and Lonavala all are coming under Maharashtra. And we know that Swachh Bharat mission was started on 2014. At that time, the clean waste processing was just 18%. Now it has been increased to 66%. In this survey, they are also launching the second phase of Swachh Bharat mission, that is SBM Urban, that is SBM 2.0, which was finalized, and now we are in end of this current phase. The goal of the second phase is to target further than making cities open defecation free and also to include 100% sludge management and zero dumping of waste in open corridor. This is related to this first article, and the second article is related to immunities which has been increased for Delhi lights, that is the citizens of Delhi national capital. They had an immunity which ranks to 29.1% of the people as having immunity, that is automatically generated antibody against this COVID. And apart from that, this survey is being conducted by a private body called Zero Survey. They are stating that 27.7% in Bengal, which are coming under containment zone, are also having antibody against virus. This can simply related to a concept called herd immunity, which is the immunity which is being developed for a group of people or a society after evoking of a particular virus. Here other things that we need to consider is, when you looking into Punjab, they are having major reports that is saying that 40% of the people who are coming in Amistar and 35.6% in Ludhiana and 33.2% in Ajit Singh Nagar and 19.2 in Patiala and 10.8 in Jalandhar were having higher immunity. Apart from that, 25% of the people of group 50 years and above and are having better immunity, and antibodies were developed, found them is 28.3% in men and 32.2% in women, which means fatality rate is higher for men is because their antibody production is lesser when we are comparing with women. That is the thing that we need to keep in mind. And here, what are the questions that you can expect as difference between antibody and antigen? Antibody is a thing which is generated in our blood cells called WBC. Antigen is a thing which can be brought inside to a human system through vaccine or an artificial means to fight against a particular virus. And the third article that we can look into in today's newspaper is related to Sri Lanka's draft of our new constitution. After Gotabaya Rajapakse taken the seat as president of Sri Lanka, after the election which was conducted on 5th of August, as he planned and as he promised in his campaign, he is going to bring a new constitution to abolish 19th amendment which was brought by former president Maithripala Sirisena. Why they are going to abolish this particular thing? First one is this 19th amendment is scrubbing the executive power of president and it is strengthening independent commissions. Second one, it is curtailing the particular candidate to bring us a president for second tenure. And lot many civil societies are against this particular decision, and to make the constitution and part to the contemporary situation, they are going to develop a new constitution where the constitution will be retaining the elements of proportional representation system which is currently followed. And apart from that, the government task of reviving country's economy with newer things which are required as per the present contemporary system will be considered in this particular system. And apart from that, we can move on to the next article which talks about vaccine developed by Russia called Sputnik V will be available to India. They have already developed this particular vaccination. First, we need to know why Russia was able to prepare this particular vaccine in shorter duration, whereas other countries were not able to do the same thing for past 3 or 6 months, with 3 to 6 months. The reason is Russia is already head start because of the disease called MERS, that is Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, which is more or less equivalent to 80% of COVID. So they are having a similar disease which is more or less equivalent to COVID. It is not exact similar, but the symptoms are 80% similar to MERS. So the clinical demonstration which was done for the volunteers for past 21 days is showing better effect, and there is no unforeseen or unwanted side effects. So this particular vaccine is going to get approved by WHO. When we are looking into the efficacy, it is too high and it is confirmed with high precision tests related to antigen when they are testing with the blood serum of the volunteers. And apart from that, the ability of the immune cell of the volunteer is being activated in response to the spike-case proteins of coronavirus, which indicates the formation of both antibody and antigens which are required for responding or fighting against COVID-19. And it's also talks about how this particular vaccine is going to be effective and how it is being safe for all the citizens who are going to use this particular vaccine throughout the country. They have already partnered with a strategic relationship with vaccine production house which are a part of a major country including India, because India is having one of the greatest base in terms of pharmaceutical industry. Without India, not even a single country can't able to produce the vaccine which are required in huge masses. And this particular vaccine will not affect human adenoviral vector tests. Apart from that, it doesn't going to impact the fertility or carcinogenic effects on human beings. The spike coding genes, which was developed by the Russian researchers from the novel coronavirus and implanting it into a familiar adenovirus vector for delivering into human cells, provided two different types of genes, that is AD5 and AD6, which made the particular vaccine to launch into the market in faster way, which will be boosting the effect of vaccine. And this vaccine does tricks of tricks the body, which can develop some kind of immunity to one type of vector against the first intake alone. And it is as India and Russia is being a strategy as a friendly country, it is going to provide a friendly relationship and friendly um, relationship with respect to providing this particular vaccine, that is Sputnik V, to India through the local pharma which is located in India alone. So this will be available, this vaccine will be available for India and other countries in shorter duration itself. And now we can move on to the next article. India is assessing all vaccines which are coming into the future. When the Ministry of External Affairs is planned to, they had conducting a continuous reviewing meeting with various companies which are producing a vaccine, that may be Bharat, which is producing Covaxin and Zindahar and other vaccines which are been in pipeline. The purpose of this particular group is to keep India in a forefront of any ongoing effort worldwide to innovate, prepare, and produce, and to launch the candidate vaccine to deal with COVID. That is the prime aim of this particular committee. This committee, now they are working with Sputnik V vaccine, that is developed by a Russian company RDIF, which is already considered as one of the safest and efficacy data, that will also facilitate the process of making relevant testing data available to Indian regulatory agency that would decide on further trial needed to be done before the vaccine was used in India. This is related to this particular article, which is related to COVID. And now we can move on to the next article, which is talking about technology as an enabler. That is a article, the editorial article, which was there in middle page. It talks about the role of technology, that is ICT, information communication technology, in education. As said in new educational policy, national education policy 2020, it is revamping the existing system of higher education. It is going to integrate the technology for enhancing the teaching skill. When we talk about integrating this particular any technology, any kind of technology, it should not create a digital divide over a population. And apart from that, there are lot many challenges which are going to happen in terms of equity. And when new technology is coming into picture, that also needs to consider as an opportunity, and also it need to provide an inclusion to everyone. If that is not being provided, then it can be egalitarianism in higher education system. When we looking into Indian education system, most of the people who are getting highest level of education, they are coming from lower social strata, that they may belong to scheduled caste or scheduled tribes and other backward classes, and even also from economically poor household family. They are not even having a proper electrification. Without electrification and with the help of governmental school or underdevelopment, they are coming from underdeveloped region, remote villages, and from urban margin. They are not more likely to have regional language as a medium of instruction. The national level education study on student diversity and social inclusion carried out at a National Institute of Education Planning and Administration, which was made in 2016, showed that the student had marginalized social group faces severe challenges due to social exclusion and academic non-integration. The institutional mechanism that needs to first bridge the gap, and it need to be had an adequate system so that the quality education and quality equitable academic outcomes should be provided throughout all the persons who are going to get education from this particular system. Apart from that, there should be a separate agency called National Education Technology Forum, which will entrust with the task of advising institution on the use of technology and capacity building, and providing direction for research and innovation, and creating avenues for exchange of ideas. Apart from that, this, when we are saying that technology will be a part of uh, new education policy, then here we can facilitate the students to make use of spatial restriction, because some students who are not able to come and study the particular course because they are saying that they are coming from rural areas, or they are coming from from northeastern states. That kind of restrictions can be brought to an end if technology is going to be a medium of, if technology or internet is going to be a medium where the students were going to be get teaching. Apart from that, apart from teachers, students, even teachers need to be trained to make use of this particular system. Otherwise, that will be a major problem for the students who are getting education in English, because most of the training institutes which are training the topmost persons who are already achieved, they are from regional medium of background. If the teachers is not able to make use of that technology and English is a medium of communication to teach a particular concept, then there won't be any use. Apart from that, the student, even if the teacher is going in higher phase, student can learn the concept based on the self-paced learning, and student-centered learning module need to be developed to support the marginalized learner and to help teacher to assume the new role of facilitator. Teacher should not be a lecturer, he or she should be a facilitator. And this new economic policy emphasis on technology is a welcome step, but that needs to be taken care. This academic integration continues to remain a major challenge. Technology needs to be seen as a mean to provide additional learning inputs. And in the final stage, the author is also saying that it requires institutions to expose and enact values of inclusion in structure and the process of higher education. And with respect to the last article that talks about marriage age misconception, here this author is stating lot many data with related, which are being published in various journals and articles, then saying that only increasing the age of women for marriage is not a permanent solution for issues related to health and nutritional status of mother and infant, because he is already, as stated by finance minister or prime minister, only way or the best way to bring a solution for health and nutritional status of women and infant is to increase the age of women at the time of marriage. Since there is no obvious constituency state that been demanding such a change, government seems to be motivated by belief that simply raising the age of marriage is the best way to improve the health and nutritional status of mother and the infant. Here, the article or the magazine which is quoted by the author is The Lancet Child and Adolescent Health by Newcomb Scott. In that particular magazine, The article analyzed the data on studying in children and thinness in mother with various factors. These factors were already proved are failed hypothesis, which means it is not giving a proper solution or a proper result. That is not the only proper solution. If we are increasing the age, that cannot be a only solution. Here few factors but needs to be considered. Those factors are strengthening the education level of the mother and living condition of the females, health condition of the women, decision making power of the women, and the health status of the mother and child at the time of pregnancy. All these factors plays an important role with respect to malnutrition and other nutritional status of mother and child. Apart from that, yes, simply to say that early pregnancy causing malnutrition, they may both be consequence of poverty too. It is not only because of the age factor, it may also related to economic factor. And they are stating one more thing: the most direct method of nutritional programs for girls and women through the range of institutional mechanism from Anganwadis to school needs to be properly streamlined and implemented. If they are implementing these factors, then automatically the malnutrition problems can be get to an end, and that can be reduced, that can be eradicated. To concentrate on delaying the age of pregnancy, even though this is the weakest thing that has been linking. And apart from that, the entire article is having a conception and prejudice that doctrine of overpopulation is the root of all evil in our country. This population cannot be considered as the only factor which is triggering the growth of a developing country. Here, our Prime Minister is not, as per the author, our Prime Minister is not bothering to seek the advice of our own demographers who have studying the apparent link between early marriage and accelerating fertility rates for more than a decade. India's fertility rate has been continuously declining to well below replacement level in many states, including those with higher level of child marriage. Apart from that, they are not considering the factors like if the age of when we are comparing other factors with foreign country, in foreign country the global norms are similar for male and female. That means after 18 both male and female can get into the marriage relationship as per legal system. But in India, we are differing the age. We are differing the age for girl and boy at least 3 years. Why that is not being considered when we are talking about increasing the age limit for girls alone? Apart from that, child marriage is most there is a prejudice saying that child marriage is more prevalent among women alone, and that is helping them to reproduce faster. That is a fake myth, that is a fake news or a myth or a prejudice which is completely false. And there are some other states where high means of marriage at 25 years are erstwhile, like Jammu Kashmir, Mizoram, Nagaland, Manipur, and Goa. Even in Kerala, with higher HDA, their average age is 20 to 22 at the time of marriage, and in Delhi it is 23, which is lower mean age at marriage. The proverbial thinking of India, that is fast becoming an endangered species has now become accustomed to watching helplessly as an act of state folly unfold, which means government is doing all those issues with the mindset of data which is being published in some foreign country. Here we need to think about the factor which are triggering in India, then we need to talk about other countries, because when we are comparing with foreign country we can't able to get the real picture of India. India is different from all other country with respect to all the factor, especially with respect to demographic and health related factor. Thanks for listening to IABS IAS Academy's current affairs.